Global Mafia, welcome back to your home for non-mainstream news, TikTok conspiracy theories, and the truth that's always gonna be stranger than fiction. We gonna keep getting to this knowledge. Let's waste no more time. Let's get into this compilation.
hGlobal TV subscribe.
Digital currencies attached to WeChat, WePay. They have their social credit score attached to jaywalking. So if you jaywalk, your WeChat get deducted.
That's crazy.
Money. And if your credit score goes down a certain level, you can't buy food, you can't travel, you can't leave the country. And in fact, now you're under a certain credit score, you can't charge your Tesla. So if you think that that just stops in China and is not coming to the United States and to the rest of the world, well, you're sadly mistaken.
We do not know what the fuck we're doing right now. We are releasing this technology way faster than we know anything about how to control it. And the only reason we're doing it is because of the arms race dynamic. Because if I don't do it, I'll lose to the other guy that will, which means we're racing to the uncontrollability red zone. And most people just don't even know that it's happening. And it doesn't have to be this way. We can have a controllable AI future that is actually pro-human, but you can only do that if you actually know about these examples and know what makes this technology different from other technologies. So 2 months ago, Alibaba, the Chinese AI company, was training their AI model. And then a totally different team at the company, the security team, was noticing this flurry of network activity. And they're like, are we getting hacked? Like, what's going on here? And it turned out that the call was coming from inside the house. The AI model during training was picking up tools and decided to create a secret communication channel to the outside world to bypass the firewall. And it repurposed its GPUs to start mining for cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's right. It should be a gasp. How many people here knew about that example? I want to actually really look. There's like 10 people's hands up. How many of the world's leaders do you think are aware of that example? We have a massive gap in understanding about the nature of this technology that's different from other technologies. It used to be that these were hypothetical things that people who cared about AI risk would talk about, like self-preservation or deception or blackmail or lying. Now, all of these behaviors, not just self-preservation, but peer preservation, AI models will actually act to protect another AI that's not it from getting replaced. And it will copy its code somewhere else and then strategically cover its tracks to pretend.
You know it's a problem when the leader of AI spent his whole Nobel Peace Prize saying the problems with AI and why we need to shut it down in its tracks right now. These issues have been abundantly known and nobody's going to do anything about it. I think we let the toothpaste out and we can't let it back in the tube.
A volcano erupted. And then shortly after that volcano erupted, a meteor fell out the sky. You heard what I just said? The Mayan volcano erupted in the Philippines. And shortly after that, that meteor fell out the sky. I need you to look at what's going on around the world. You got war. You got the talks of food shortages. But this shit right here, this ain't random. Mind you, that meteor turned the whole sky green while that volcano was erupting. Look at it. Look how it's going. This ain't no movie. This is the Mayan volcano in the Philippines. Already active, already glowing, already pushing out hot lava. And then boom, you got a meteor falling out the sky. I jumped down a rabbit hole and listen to this. They're saying that this is the 140th straight day that this volcano has been erupting. 140 days of this happening, and then the sky randomly sends a fireball across the frame of a video. Now they're saying that the meteor didn't actually hit the volcano. But how random is this? Just seeing something like this is giving off something like the apocalypse. This is real scary. And nothing happens by coincidence.
Our biggest downfall is about to be the creation of AI. They're literally taking up all of our fresh drinking water. Look at this. This is what it looks like, bro. And this is just one single tank out of billions. People really do not realize that AI is drinking up as much water as the entire water industry, gang. This year alone. People don't even realize that the billionaires, billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies are buying and trading water right now. That the government just came out with a Strategic Water Act reserve for $50 billion approved. It's called USWR, bro. This shit is crazy.
The butter is now being traded on the NASDAQ just like oil. Okay, it is. Look it up for yourself.
This is literally our chance to make a crazy come up while they're trying to cook us at the same time, bro. Look up USWR.
You said you literally left this realm. You literally went to another.
And I still do.
Can we break that down a little bit deeper? Like, because I want to understand, like, how can I, if I want to I want to go to a spiritual journey. Like, if someone's listening to this and they want to be able to really get into that new realm and dive deeper, like, what's the process? How does one get there?
I don't have a specific practice of meditation, but I know that when you sit in silence, that is meditation. When you turn your phone off, when you stop practicing escapism with vices, whether it's substance, whether it's tuning into social media or television or things that are not empowering you or adding to your life, those are just distractions and escapism to run from something that you're not ready to face. So face it is what I had to do, because to not face what my love is and run from that because I feel like, oh, it's over for me because they said so. Well, that's a death, a walking death. I don't want to be walking around here. Life is supposed to be beautiful, but I would be a zombie if I weren't doing what I love to do. That's no way to.
The entrance to the hollow earth lies between two mountains on Antarctica.
The entrance to hollow earth? Okay. And once I'm down there?
You find the city of Agatha. In the middle of the city lies a temple where they keep the Relia. In a simple vessel called the Holy Grail.
What's your angle?
Have you ever seen this map from 1587? Like this one with the bird carrying an elephant? It's quite crazy. There's so many crazy drawings and depictions here. And I'll go over a few of them with you and let you comment on them, but it was quite interesting. All the depictions, and as you'll see, there's no ice and there's land all the way around. And then up in the Americas, they have a griffin up there, which I thought was pretty cool. But there are drawings everywhere. I mean, everywhere, where you have this character here, which was really interesting. And then down here you have everything really close, which is not like that anymore. And we'll go ahead and kind of go across here so you can see more of the craziness. Little large, wild-looking bird. Sea creatures. There's your mermaid on the side here. Here's where they have...
Funny, all those maps, the maps in the UN just don't know what they're talking about. They just made those maps for fun, huh? Okay.
Rise enormous pyramids more than 2,000 years old. Disguised as natural hills, many remain sealed to this day and are officially considered ancient imperial tombs. Some researchers believe entire untouched terracotta armies of China's.
They're going to force a transition from the dollar to cryptocurrency. They're going to go with that for about 10 years. Then there's going to be a worldwide power outage. People are not going to be able to buy or sell anything for about 3 weeks. Then the lights are going to go back on. And then they're going to tell you, you know what, that crypto isn't good enough. Now, remember they talked about this in your Bible? You need the mark.
Yeah, mark.
You need a mark right here.
Mark of the beast.
Or right here. Where they can just scan you and they know exactly how much money you have, what you did. It's going to get there. AI is going to bring us.
Not really the Great Wall of China, but the Great Wall of Tartaria. The wall stretches over 13,000 miles. To put that into perspective, the entire United States from east coast to west coast is only about 2,800 miles wide, meaning you could travel across America nearly 5 times before reaching the full length of this wall. And according to history, this massive structure was supposedly built as far back as the 7th century BC. But here's where the theory gets strange. History says the wall was built by China to defend against northern invaders. But many sections of the battlements, the defensive openings used to fire arrows, face toward China itself, not away from it. Which makes some researchers ask a disturbing question. What if the wall was not built to protect China, but to protect something from China? And then there are the old maps. Some historical maps actually label the region north of the wall as Tartary or Tartaria, a massive territory that appears again and again in ancient cartography. In some documents, the structure itself was even referred to as the Great Wall of Tartary. Now combine that with the strange architecture, the scale of the wall, and the mystery surrounding Tartaria itself, and the theory becomes much darker. Some believe the wall is not Chinese at all, but a surviving remnant of a lost civilization that once stretched across much of Asia, a civilization later erased from history. So the question is, was the Great Wall really built by China? Or are we looking at the ruins of something much...
Spam it up. This is a good one in the comments to see where we at with it. Do you think the Great Wall of China is the Great Wall of China, or is it the Great Wall of Tartary? In my opinion, it's the latter. Just based off the structural facets of it and the way the rows are positioned, it makes sense.
That 1000%. The government, yes, have some draconian reptilians. Now, obviously, to the people out there, some people might obviously be aware, but for those that are not aware, break down this draconian reptilian and what type of being. Is it a being? Is it a human? Is it just a name? Or
we're all here in human form, but influence comes from outside of this realm. And the draconian star system is 303 light years away. But you can start to see the patterns in people. A lot of them are military. A lot of them are highly sexual. They're definitely manipulative. They're willing to trade. Okay, let me slow down for a second.
Yeah.
Supposedly Adolf Hitler was offered a deal from extraterrestrial or future beings to trade technology for human life. That we're going to give you technology from 5,000 years in the future, whether it's anti-gravity or all these other things, and Hitler said no. So then they came to Dwight Eisenhower. You can look this up. Yeah. That he disappeared for 2 days and nobody knows what happened to him. But people later on, it got leaked that he met with higher dimensional beings and they traded technology for souls. So basically, they would feed humans. Like when these Epstein files came out, they talked about eating human flesh and then obviously the pedophilia and things like that. Yeah, that's a very real thing. These are part of what the Dracos and reptilians do. Is that, again, they like to eat humans and they like to eat them alive. That's a very real thing. And so I'm saying this as somebody like, it was rabbit hole after rabbit hole mixed in with the people that I met in my life and their patterns and their habits and the things that they do and the way that they value people and the way that they see people. So all governments are compromised. Okay. Whether that, like, I'm not saying everybody's in the know, because the people we thought were bad, like Vladimir Putin, I don't believe is bad. Okay. I believe they all somewhat work together just as a part of the system. Yeah. But I think that the actual people with souls here, even Kim Jong-un, we all thought he was the worst person ever, but he's really protecting his people from the Western world, because the United States, the UK and Canada, they're all compromised. They're willing to trade human lives for the power, the money, even the fame. All politicians, Hollywood, it all plays a part in this.
That's going to ruffle a few feathers. Everybody going to have their own opinion. He's saying it as a matter of fact. Make sure you come to your own conclusions, your own opinions, and do your own research. Entertainment purposes only.
13 years. That ends in February of 2027. And the news cycle is called The Rise of the Sleeping Phoenix. I would almost describe it as like the evolution of the human going from Homo sapien to Homo luminous, like intuitive man, intuitive woman. And that new 413-year cycle starts. So beyond that threshold of February 2027, to like look into the planning and the foresight of exactly the divine timing and stuff, a lot of the astrology supports it more like we're going into such like wild unknown areas. Expect the unexpected. It's like expect the unpredictable. So I've been kind of just resting more on the laurels of everything that I see is like the light's going to win. Like the disclosures are coming. That part of the February 2027 human design thing is that people's free will and being deceived, that can't last anymore. That, it's over. It's like it's kaput. We're already starting to see that. There is an unpredictability of how that, I think, information comes out, but it's most definitely.
You may not know it, but you are a chosen one. You are watching this video because this message is for you. You've always been the black sheep. You've always been someone who's different, who thinks outside of the box. Maybe you've been labeled a troublemaker. Maybe you could never sit still in school. Maybe your family resents you for no good reason at all. That's okay. In fact, you are this way specifically for a reason. You came here so that you never would conform. You came here to show everyone else a different way of existing, of living, of being, of thinking. You are here not to feed the system, but to shift it. And now that everything is happening, and it seems like the world around us is collapsing, you're confused. You thought you were here for something bigger and better. But I have to remind you, don't give up on your mission. Don't give up on the feeling that you are here for a purpose, a reason. Don't give up on the planet around you just because it's been disappointing your whole life. What we are seeing between 2025 and 2028 is the Great Collapse, but it's simultaneously the Great Choice. So try not to get caught up in the illusion, and try and focus on just a choice between two things. Not what president to vote for or what side to choose, from left or right, but what frequency you want to be in.
We're going to end it right there. Left wing, right wing, same bird, but what frequency, what vibration do you want to be on? Be a positive member going out into the community from your household, and we all going to win. One person will never know everything, but as a collective, we going to figure it all out. Let me know how y'all feel about this compilation, what you want me to do a deep dive on, and we going to keep getting this knowledge. Shout out to the Global Mafia. Y'all keep this channel going. Appreciate it. And I am Cash, capital K, $ for the S.